Yeah, so I think we've reached a point, at least, of sort of strategic stability in the relationship. I think both countries concluded that having an all-out global trade war between the United States and China would be deeply damaging to both sides and to the world. There remain issues of disagreement. There remain issues that we know in the long term are going to have to be confronted in our relationship. We've not been bashful in saying that we don't think the world, we don't think it's sustainable to live in a world where we depend on some country for 90% of everything, whether it's supply chains, critical minerals, and the like, pharmaceuticals, and the like. And we have every intention of doing everything we can to ensure that our critical supply chains are diversified. And now we continue to be a point of contention on that. That's something that's critical to our national security. We've been working on it as a work on. I also think that from a responsibility standpoint, the two largest economies in the world both possess nuclear arsenals, have to be able to talk, have to be able to communicate, have to be able to interact. We're implicitly responsible to the United States and China not to have meetings, not to have conversations, and not to have opportunities for our leaders to interact. I just think it's, I don't know anybody who thinks that's a good idea. It would be foolish and frankly dangerous for us not to have a relationship, even as our areas of conflict and disagreement remain. Point, at least, of sort of strategic stability in the relationship. I think both countries concluded that having an all-out global trade war between the United States and China would be deeply damaging to both sides and to the world. But I also think that from a responsibility standpoint, the two largest economies in the world who both possess nuclear arsenals have to be able to talk, have to be able to communicate, and have to be able to interact. It would be reckless and irresponsible for the United States and China not to have meetings, not to have conversations, and not to have opportunities for our leaders to interact with one another. I just think it's, I don't know anybody who thinks that's a good idea. It would be foolish and frankly dangerous for us not to have a relationship with them, even as our areas of conflict and disagreement remain. Well, we think ultimately in the 21st century, for there to be a true arms control